deep low pressure system is approaching Tasmania, bringing damaging winds and coastal hazards to the southeast. My name is Sarah and I'll be taking you through what to expect over the coming days. So we've got the low pressure system that's been sitting south of Adelaide this morning, and it's already generated damaging winds across the southeast over the last 24 hours, including wind gusts in excess of 100 kilometres per hour in the Melbourne area and in excess of 130 kilometres per hour about Alpine districts. It's also brought significant rainfall to the Adelaide Hills this morning, with widespread 30 to 50 millimetres across the region. So let's take a look at that low. Here it is here. And as we move through today, we're expecting it to move eastwards and continue to bring showers, rain areas and thunderstorms to the southeast, but significantly generating these really gusty northwest to westerly winds. Also, winds around that low may bring some heavier rainfall totals to northern parts of Tasmania. Now, we do have a severe weather warning current at the moment for damaging winds. I'm just going to focus on South Australia first, about the Mount Lofty and the Flinders Ranges pushing up into the northeast pastoral districts. So within this area, wind gusts in excess of 90 kilometres per hour are possible that are expected to ease below threshold later this evening, with this warning to be cancelled. Now, we also have a warning current across Victoria, the northeastern ranges, where the winds are expected to start to ease later this afternoon, and for that warning to be cancelled. However, for New South Wales, we've got damaging winds between 90 to 110 kilometres per hour possible about the ranges and elevated areas, continuing through to this evening, where there will then be a temporary easing overnight before starting to re-intensify in the early hours of Wednesday morning. Now, I'm just going to show you the winds 1.5 kilometres above sea level. They give a really good idea of where these wind maximums are through eastern parts of South Australia today, and then just noticing those eastern ranges of New South Wales. But as that low moves across northern parts of Tasmania, those northwesterly winds will shift more westerly and start to really become much more gusty again during the afternoon. Just noticing this maximum across southern parts of Victoria, we are expecting to issue a severe weather warning again for Victoria through these areas for damaging winds, also pushing up into the northeast ranges, developing during the afternoon and evening tomorrow. For today, thunderstorms are possible through a really broad area across the region, but just focusing on where severe thunderstorms are possible through this yellow area, through southern parts of South Australia, including the Adelaide area, where they may bring damaging wind gusts. Now, the low is also generating very large waves across the south, but significantly it's generating a storm surge or abnormally high tides that may lead to seawater inundating low-lying coastal areas. And this includes across southern parts of South Australia and, for today, Western Victoria as well. So we do have this coastal hazard warning that has been issued for that potential for inundation of low-lying coastal areas. Now, as we head into tomorrow, we're expecting the warning to be cancelled across South Australia. However, we're expecting the central and eastern parts of Victoria to start to be impacted by those abnormally high tides. And this includes for Port Phillip and Western Port Bay, so bayside suburbs of Melbourne, more specifically the northern and eastern sides in onshore flow, may start to see some inundation of those low-lying coastal areas with the high tide that's expected to peak tomorrow evening. Now, with these strong winds and coastal impacts, community impacts include the potential for trees to come down, power lines to come down to cause power outages, and as well creating hazardous driving conditions with debris strewn across roads. And as I mentioned, the inundation of low-lying areas during high tide times. So if you live across southeastern parts of the country, now's a good time to stay up to date with our latest warnings via the Bureau website, app and social media. Otherwise, we'll see you again next time. Bye for now.